A lot of times when we're trying to be more productive and have more energy in life, we think that we have to go after these big, massive, life-altering goals. And the problem with that is that they are typically unsustainable. Most of the time, we get a little bit of steam, get burnt out, and then we stop. This is why I have found so much more success just having simple, small habits that together make me feel amazing and productive and energetic most days. I say most because there's no such thing as having tons of energy every day. That does not exist.
Gives you tons of energy, huh?
But what I'm going for is most days when I come into my office to work, to build content, to work on my products, to do all the things that I do, I want to bring the best of what I have to the table. I'm sure you do as well. So in this video, I'm going to give you the 5 simple daily habits that keep me feeling amazing. And I think these will be ones that will help you feel amazing too. Now, I want to mention that the reason why I want to do things that make me feel amazing and be productive is because I want success in life and I want success in my business. My online business, which I talk about mostly on this channel, is dependent on me bringing the best of what I have to the table. My family and their well-being is dependent on me bringing the best of what I have to the table. Every aspect of my life, every relationship that I have, and my business and my faith, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, all of it is affected by how much energy and productivity I can bring to the table. So if I can give myself a little bit of an edge, then I'm going to try to do it. And I really think these 5 habits are transferable to anyone. So if you stick around to the end, I really think there's going to be something in here that you can implement right away. My name's Lane. This is my channel. Welcome. If you're new here, I like to help digital entrepreneurs start and grow their online businesses. If you want to know more about that, go to lanesebring.com/supersimple. Pick up my free super simple guide to your first $500 online. That's a total free guide to how to build an online course style business. It's yours for free as a way of saying thank you for stopping by today. So let's dive in. These are my 5 daily habits that make me feel amazing. Number 1, wake up early. Now, before you click away because you think, oh my gosh, this is another one of these videos where they talk about the benefits of waking up early, let me just say a couple things. 1, I did not always do this, and I didn't always even think that it was possible for me to do it. I was someone who would get up at 7 or 7:30 to be at work at 9. That's the way I functioned when I was single. That's the way I functioned when my wife and I didn't have kids yet. It was having kids that forced me to wake up earlier and earlier. So some of this was somewhat involuntary just because of the stage of life that I'm in. I've got 4 kids, 8 years old and under. Kids that age wake up early. There is no sleeping in there is no rest for the weary. You wake up early. So what I started doing is I said, I want to wake up earlier than they do so that I can get ahead of the day. What I don't want is to be laying in bed and be in that kind of groggy, still asleep, and then have the kids bust in the door and they're all energetic because it's how they feel at 6 in the morning. I want to get ahead of that. So I started waking up at 5. For a while I did 4:30. Now I do 4:45 a.m. is when I wake up every day. And I'm telling you, there's something about starting my day early that makes me feel alive. There's something about the productivity that happens early in the morning that gives me the oomph for the rest of the day where I'm like, hey, I did something this morning. I got up when most people were still asleep. I went to the gym. We'll get to that in a second. I had a great breakfast. I spent some time with my kids, spent some time with my wife, spent some time in the Word. This was an awesome day, and it's not even 7 o'clock yet. That's the way I love to start my day. So what I would say here is if you currently don't wake up early, the answer isn't start waking up at 4:45. The answer would be maybe try waking up 30 minutes earlier than you currently do and focus on getting out of bed right away and getting going with something productive or something that gives you life right in the morning. So if you normally wake up at 7, just start waking up at 6:30. Do that for 6 months. See how you feel, and maybe you can move it up even earlier, or maybe 6:30 will be great for you. But I'm telling you, if you've never done it, waking up early consistently over time just changes something about your day that's really hard to explain. The only way I can make sense of it is this. On the rare occasion that I get to sleep in till like 6 o'clock, 6:30, it feels odd to me. It feels like I wasted a little bit of my day. I wake up and I go, oh my gosh, like it's 6:30. I already feel like the day's half over. I know that seems ridiculous, but it's the way that I feel. I actually strongly prefer waking up before 5 a.m. because I've done it for so long and I love the way it makes me feel. So maybe you can give it a try. Number 2, every morning after I wake up, I go straight to the gym and I lift weights. So weightlifting is going to be number 2. Why weightlifting? Well, there's exercises that you can do that are awesome. You can do cardio, you can walk. I do all of that. But there's something about resistance training in the gym that just speaks to me. There's something about it, the pump that you get. And if you lift weights, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not a meathead. I'm not a big gym bro, but I'm just telling you, I like being in the gym. I like that feeling of working my muscles to progressive overload, feeling like $1,000,000 when I walk out of that thing, feeling strong, feeling powerful, and getting stronger and more powerful every single day. I love that.
Gym's closed.
So for about 3 years now, getting up before 5 a.m. and going straight to the gym has been a part of my daily routine. And those two things combined truly make me feel better than anything. I am able to accomplish things in my day. I'm able to face challenges in my day, have tough meetings, make hard decisions because my day started with me doing something physically hard that had an immediate reward, made me feel awesome, and gave me the strength to take on the rest of the day. I cannot recommend weight training enough, and especially early in the morning. Number 3, espresso at home. One of the best things we did was we bought an espresso machine. I absolutely love having espresso in my house. I save a lot of money by not going to Starbucks, and it tastes way better than drip coffee. I drink my coffee black. I drink my espresso just with water, basically an Americano, and it's just one of the sweet things of life. I love it.
That's too much coffee.
I also love coffee.
I love the way it smells. I love the way it tastes. I love the boost of energy I get from the caffeine. I love everything about it. If you want to know the espresso machine that I bought, there's a link down below. You can check it out. But whether it's espresso or coffee, the ritual of drinking espresso right after I get home from the gym, along with my protein shake, it's just part of what puts my day together. And I think sometimes we can get so into and so wrapped up in productivity routines that involve all kinds of fancy things that we forget that sometimes there's just a lot of joy in the ritual of something so simple as coffee, or in my case, espresso.
It's true, I love espresso.
So, if you're not doing something that's a ritual every morning that benefits your well-being and mental health and physical energy, I'd highly recommend it. Number 4, reading from a physical book. The reason why I say physical book is the vast majority of the bulk of my reading is actually audio. I subscribe to Audible. I listen to books on there. I listen to a ton of books throughout my day and podcasts. But when it comes to actually setting my mind for work and productivity, there's nothing that competes with sitting down and reading from a physical book. So right here in this chair that I'm sitting in, when I come into this office, the bookshelf behind me has actual books. They're not just props. Those are books that I'm reading. They're books that I liked enough to either keep because I've read them or I plan to read them so they're on the shelf. I will read through those books, and I do it slowly and I do it purposefully and meticulously. I might read a page or 2, or I might read 10. It's not about the volume, it's about the practice. I take a lot of notes, I underline things. It gives me ideas, it gives me a boost of inspiration. If I'm reading a book about entrepreneurship or online business, it helps me know that I'm not alone in this, that someone else has gone before me and tried all these things, and I learn from them. And holding the book in my hand and sitting down and having the actual habit and ritual of reading is a very powerful thing, and I love it. Most of my reading is done digitally. I even listen to the Bible first thing in the morning when I wake up and I'm getting ready to go to the gym, making my pre-workout drink. I'm listening to the Bible, going through the Bible in a year. A lot of what I consume is digital, but there's something about reading a physical book, whether it's the Bible or another book, every morning when I start my workday. It helps me center my mind. I do this before I check email. I do this before I look at my analytics, before I make my first video of the day. I do it before any of that because I want to walk into this room not rushed, not hurried, not letting someone else set the agenda, but just sitting down with my espresso reading from a physical book, and getting centered so that I can start the day. Number 5, having a list in a physical notebook and checking off my list every day. So every year I buy a notebook, and every year I buy a higher quality, better notebook than the year before. This thing has like the thickest paper. It's a graph, I love it. And every day I write down the top 3 things that I want to do for the day. There might be more that are on the list, but there are 3 things that if come heck or high water, if I can get those 3 things done in a day, the day is a success. That habit leads to me staying ahead of my schedule, being productive, staying on top of what I'm doing, and feeling like I'm in control. Now, I know that I could do this on Asana and I could do this on Google Calendar, which I have Google Calendar and I use it religiously. And I have Asana for projects. But there's something about the simplicity of a physical notebook and a piece of paper where I literally write down what I do and then check it off when I'm done. Checking off a box makes me feel good. And that habit makes me feel amazing, where I can close this book at the end of the day and I could say I did what I set out to do. If you're like, hey, I want a notebook too, I'll put a link to this below. I actually really like this one. This is the nicest one I've ever had, and it serves me well every day, so I'll link to it below. And now here is a bonus habit, a number 6, if you will, and that is walking outside. There is something about getting out in the open air and walking, even for 10 or 15 minutes, that resets my mood, kind of connects me back with reality, and gives me the energy to come back into my office and begin being productive again. I actually have a treadmill desk, so I spend a lot of time walking indoors when I'm at my desk. Walking isn't necessarily the issue here. It's being outside, it's being in the sun, it's feeling the ray of sunshine on my face, the breeze on my face, all of those things, seeing the sights and sounds and smells of the air. That is the ritual and the habit that when I do that daily, it contributes to just overall better mental health and increased productivity. So those are my 5 things plus the bonus that I do every day. None of those are earth-shattering or groundbreaking, like life-altering, biohacking, whatever you want to call it. They're just simple things. But taken in aggregate, when I do them all together, it changes the trajectory of my day. And if I change the trajectory of my day, it changes the trajectory and overall direction of my life. That's what I have experienced and am experiencing. And I hope that you can take something from this and use it yourself. And if you get all this productivity going and you're like crushing it in life and you want to start an online business, then I am the guy that can help you do that. And if you check out this playlist right here, it is all about how to start an online business, and I am in that playlist. So if you click that playlist, I will meet you inside of it and we'll talk about how to start and grow your online business.